Hey there, everyone. Chris Kroll here, managing editor of Solar Builder, once again with another episode of Solar Distancing. And today we're going to dive a little bit more just into the value of home energy monitoring, regardless of whether you even have PV or storage. There is a lot of knowledge to be gathered in terms of how your home is consuming energy and how you can be using it, to save costs in a different way. And to do that today, I'm joined by an expert in this field. We have Keith Marett, the president of home energy management at Generac, and previously the CEO of Nerio. Hey, Keith.
Hey, Chris.
Really excited to chat with you today because you're somewhat new to the Generac world, but we're helped launch that Nerio system, and I was hoping you could maybe give an overview of exactly what that is and what it is now under Generac, and how it works, how it installs, just what we're even talking about.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. First of all, thanks for having me on the show. So the home energy management system from Generac, we call it the Power View. And really what it is, it's a device that's the size of about your cell phone that gets installed in your home electrical panel. And through current transformers, we read very granular energy information from the home. We read both what the home is consuming as well as what the home is generating if the home has a solar system attached. All that information is fed up into our cloud infrastructure and then ultimately down to a homeowner's app user interface so that they can see in real time exactly what their home is doing.
That sounds cool to me. Are we able to maybe look at how this actually looks from the homeowner point of view, or like, do you have any slides or a presentation here you can kind of walk us through exactly, because it's hard to sometimes to visualize what this is actually doing.
For sure. Let me pull something up here and I'll see. Bear with me 1 second.
Yeah, no problem.
So this is a view of what the homeowner would see in the palm of their hands on any of their smartphones. And so what you can see, what Nerio's premise, we're now part of Generac as of last year, the whole value what we're trying to do is for homeowners to find savings in their home. I mean, especially nowadays, everybody's wanting to ultimately save on their monthly bills. Nerio and now Generac Power View is exactly what that is all about. So once the device is installed in the home, within a very quick period of commissioning process for the homeowner, that homeowner can now see exactly in real time what their energy usage is. And so they can walk around, turn on a light switch, they'll see the real-time meter tick up there, which is shown here in the first image that you can see. It kind of looks like a heartbeat monitor. And then over time, the Power View starts learning about the homeowner's house and habits. And we can really use those habits to trace insights into how they can reduce consumption and ultimately save more money every month. We also have the ability to tie in solar. So if that home has solar array attached to it, we can see how quickly that solar investment is paying itself off. And that's, we kind of add these gaming qualities to it. So the homeowner can really get into it and be enticed by the savings and how their solar system is going to further enhance their savings. We add interesting abilities here. In this middle slide, you can see bill forecasting. So now that homeowner can see what their projected bill will be from their utility even before it arrives on the doorstep or in their inbox. And then other things we look at through analytics is always on or vampire loads. So those are big culprits that we've seen in the house. That can make up of 20% of a homeowner's electricity bill every month. The stuff that's just generally running in the background. That's really what we're trying to do at Generac, is trace down for those homeowners to find areas that they can save money. There's also tremendous benefits for installers that we see. Once the homeowner has this installed, the installers also have a view through a dashboard into that home, and they can do troubleshooting. If the solar system, maybe the savings aren't as much as the homeowner wanted, the installer can maybe trace back to figure out what's happening. They could also install this for homeowner engagement and satisfaction. So as they're sitting around a table and doing good social distancing with friends, they can show their app and how their nice new solar system's paying off.
Yeah, and so on the installer side of things, are you seeing that installer, like, I guess, what can installers even see into? Is there any privacy issues in terms of the granularity of the data they can see, or is it just kind of like they see the general buckets of here's loads, here's times of day, here's how much the PV is contributing, and like what can an installer see into, and what can you see them as being an advocate for?
That's right. I mean, first and foremost, privacy is a big concern for us, of course. And so the homeowner has to grant that installer the ability to look into their data. And even with that, the data is at more at an aggregate level. We don't allow it to get into the individual, what's happening within that particular home. So the installer can really just see, okay, is the system operating? Generally, how much is it using for both the solar and the consumption side of things.
Got it. Okay. And I wanted you to dig into what you mentioned about, just through vampire loads and everything, you really see maybe about a 20% bill, like 20% reduction in costs, like it's kind of just a barometer, or like, I guess, can you dive me into a little bit more of what homeowners can expect or not expect to learn from just doing, the data of their energy usage?
Yeah, what we've seen is once this thing's installed in your home and people are visualizing and seeing where their energy usage is going, they automatically find things that are left on that might be causing energy hogs. You might have a stereo in your basement that you don't use, but it's plugged in and it's actually drawing quite a big amount of amperage. Or maybe you have a faulty heater that's constantly running when it shouldn't. Maybe you should put a smart thermostat in place and reduce its the amount of time that it's on. We've seen, we've got about 250,000 of these things installed, and we've seen, I'd say about an average of about 20% reduction in that monthly electricity bill just by getting those insights.
Yeah, so that's fascinating to me, and I just know as a homeowner who is just kind of like lackadaisical about a lot of things, but open to suggestions. I would like some, maybe some prompting, because I might not be just as religious about leafing through and trying to dig into the data myself. So can you explain us a little bit more also about how there might be like those auto functions that maybe suggest over time as it starts to learn things?
Sure. So one, we do look at that always on, and we're going to let you know where you sit within similar homes within your neighborhood. And so we do a little bit of a data collection there to see where people are sitting. And so just by seeing what other people's habits are compared to yours, you're going to be a little bit of maybe question why someone is sitting better in terms of they're always on than you are. The other thing that we'll do is if maybe your consumption habits increase over a period of time, we'll let you know. So there's be a little tip, that notification that will come by and just say, just let you know, we've noticed that your energy has increased over this period of time than it was previously. So little tips like that are very valuable, we found, is for the homeowners to really get that customized experience into their own home.
Yeah. Wow, that's fascinating. So, and then just on the PV side of things, do you have like a case study or an example of how combining these insights plus a solar plus storage system can further, separate and reduce and like the total impact you expect to see on a customer's bill possibly?
Sure. Let me show you another version of our app. And this is the version that is for our power cell product, so our storage product. And this is really, we're pulling all the various different data feeds. And so in the first app, screen here, you can see that the purple is the utility, what the homeowner's pulling from the grid. The green is the state of the battery and when it's being used. And then the orange is the PV and how much the PV is producing at that given time. In the middle here, we show the home and what the home is consuming in the big circle. And so what that's trying to show the homeowner is at any given moment in time where their energy consumption or where their energy flow is coming from, and then ultimately what they're consuming. And so they can quickly see is, are they consuming more than what their PV or storage array is doing, which then ultimately means they're pulling from the grid, or are they actually maybe pushing PV back to the grid and making money through net metering programs? There's quite a bit of analytics and information we provide there. Maybe you're on a time of use structure, and so we want to make sure that you're set up for the ultimate savings around that with our power cell battery system. And so what we'll do is in this sort of the second screen here is show you how the battery's performing and how you're performing in a time of use structure, and ultimately driving that energy savings. We also look at things like resiliency, how much battery state of charge is left in the battery so that you have enough backup power if you need it. There's lots of different analytics we layer on within this home energy management app and program.
Well, that's very cool. It's definitely the future to me of what home ownership is going to be and look like, and we're just at the very start of it. So anyway, it's great that we could catch up and kind of walk through this today, Keith. Thanks for taking the time for joining us today.
No, thank you very much for having me on, Chris. This is exciting. We're really excited. I'm a data guy, and having access to data and sharing it with homeowners is exciting.
Yeah, definitely. And hopefully we can keep providing that on this series. Does it for another episode of Solar Distancing today. I have been Chris Kroll, and remember to stay safe, stay away, but go solar.